Hi guys, Harry Yotis here, professional trader for 20 years now. Started my career in 2005, still alive and breathing in 2026. Well, today was the big day. Wednesday, 25th of February, everybody was expecting NVIDIA earnings after market. What happened? We'll get to it shortly. But you actually gap up. The expectations were very, very good. Remember yesterday we called this market very, very strong. The underlying fundamentals are very, very strong, especially on this down candle on Monday. And even on Tuesday, we saw underlying strength in the intraday market where all of the bad news was coming out, and yet people were still buying it. Okay, so we identified underlying strength, and today that's playing out. Okay, so first, let's talk about the technical picture. Now, okay, we're still in this chop zone, okay? And regularly, like we bring in the moving averages, a close above the 50 is very, very bullish. But because we're in some choppiness here, I suspect the bullishness will continue. But because we're in a choppy market, we're going to reserve our bullish call until we close at new highs. Okay, so we're still in the chop zone. Things look very, very good. The underlying strength was identified at the beginning of this week on Monday on this red candle. In the intraday charts, everything was being bought up by market participants. So it was giving you a clue of the underlying strength of this market. So neutral, but leaning towards bullish. The technicals. Of course, the sentiment now, we're at neutral. We were at fear, and now we're at neutral. This climb from extreme fear to fear, we mentioned that the sub-indices of stock price strength and breadth were very, very good. This exemplified or typified the underlying strength of the market, and yet we still have a lot of people buying puts, and volatility is still relatively higher, neutral, but it was at fear. Okay, so we're still in the neutral territory, fear, and this extreme greed in the strength and breadth is bringing us everything into the neutral territory. So we have plenty of room to go. We haven't solidified any greed or any extreme greed, so the sentiment is still within our favor as bulls to keep going higher and getting more and more bulls into this market. Thank God for these moves downward. It got a lot of people to sell the market and buy puts or become very bearish, which for us is very, very good because that sentiment is contrarian. Okay, we are bulls and we want to see people not euphoric at highs. Okay, when they get euphoric, and the market goes to highs and we get to euphoric territory, greed and extreme greed for weeks, then I'm going to get scared as a bull. But until then, I'm still bullish, and the fundamentals are bullish, so nothing to worry about here. So guys, if you like what you see, just like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. So let's get to our big story of the day, NVIDIA. Everybody was waiting on NVIDIA. Market gapped up because they were expecting NVIDIA to have very, very positive news. So let's get to NVIDIA. What happened? I like this site here, Financial Juice. As you can see here, NVIDIA, this one. NVIDIA had EPS of 162. They're expecting 153. They beat on the bottom line. Revenue, 68.1 billion. They were expecting 65.9 billion. They beat on the revenues. They beat on the top and bottom line, and they said they're going to have a very good 2027. So all of this, like, you guys could go to Financial Juice and you can see what's going on with the NVIDIA story if you want more details. But suffice it to say, positive news. And remember, we were saying NVIDIA is trapped in this sideways pattern, but the longer it stays in this sideways pattern, it consolidates. It's building up a lot of momentum. Okay, like the RSI was at neutral, everything was at neutral, waiting for the next move, and it looks like the next move is up. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this blue here, this blue line, this blue thing right here, indicates post-market activity after hours. NVIDIA closed at 195, and now it's trading at 203, so $8 higher. Okay, very, very good, approaching its highs. This is very, very good for the market and for our bullish thesis. It's going to get more people to go from the fear camp into the greed camp, which is good. So not only is NVIDIA looking great, but it'll probably be very, very good for our bull thesis going forward. And maybe, just maybe, we can get the SPY into new highs and people getting much more greedy and not fearful. I mean, I wish that doesn't happen. I wish the market keeps going higher and people still keep buying puts and stay negative. But at some point, we have to acknowledge that when this market goes into new highs and rips and NVIDIA goes to new highs, etc., that we're going to get into the euphoric and greed stage. Okay, so bodes well. I love it. NVIDIA looking good after hours. Okay, so today I'd like to talk about what we mentioned last time, Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin here. Beautiful. We were mentioning that, okay, the 73 level here, the 73,000 level is key. We draw this line of support and resistance. It was resistance before, and now it's support. It broke it, okay, but it broke it on very, very negative sentiment, negative positioning. Everybody was short, and we had a flush down. So now you're chopping around, and we had extreme negative sentiment. If you look at the crypto fear and greed index, we were at 11. We're at the extreme fear territory here. This is very, very low. And because of that, because of this extreme negativity and everybody being bearish, and even the technicals here were like, it was going lower, and the RSI was going higher, and the MACD here is going higher after a bullish crossover. So you had some technical reasons to go long. You had some sentiment reason to go long. And fundamentals, I don't know much about Bitcoin fundamentals, so I just traded based on those two things. Okay, so the sentiment here was looking very, very bad, and we thought it was going to pop. Okay, so yes, it's starting today. It's up. Bitcoin is up, 8-9%. Hopefully, it breaks the 73K, recaptures this level, and goes between the 85 to 90 level, which I suspect it does, because I am long Mara. I'm playing it Mara. It's small. Okay, I think Mara goes to the 15 level, if that's the case. So I'm still holding my Mara long. It's a call spread, 10-15 call spread, and hopefully that pays off. Okay, so I'm still looking at Bitcoin because I like the very, very negative aspect of it and just holding it for a short-term trade. I am not bullish by any stretch of the imagination. This is a very negative chart, okay? And there's going to be a lot of resistance around the 90K level. So this is just a short-term trade that could pay off very, very well because of such extreme negative sentiment. The bounce back could be huge. A quick gain will be realized if that's the case, okay? And to end today, after great NVIDIA earnings, I'd like to talk about a trade that I did a while back. I mentioned it to you guys. It's UAMY, United States Antimony Corporation, okay? I don't know if you guys remember, so I'm going to do a little bit of a recap, okay? I am bullish this sector, antimony, but basically not this sector. I'm bullish the theme of critical metals, the critical metals theme and the onshoring of critical metals in the U.S., okay? President Trump wants to he wants the U.S. to become more self-reliant and self-sufficient in critical metals, mainly rare earths, okay, as we saw with our UUU trade, which we got into it, okay? And antimony is one of them. It's very, very expensive, very rare, and it's used for military purposes. So it is a very critical metal, okay? And as you recall, guys, after this move, I was waiting for a pullback. It happened around here, and this big update on news, this red arrow denotes it, is when I got into it, okay? And how did I get into it? I got into it I bought the 1250 call, okay? And I sold all the way up here. I'm going to put it up here, even though you guys might not be able to see it. I sold a 30 call because when it was trading up here, the 30 call was trading for like about $1.50 or $2. It was very, very expensive for some reason. The volatility here was very, very high. So I was able to sell that, and I did it. 1 second here. Let's get a bit lower so you guys can see. Okay. And you can't see the call, but I did the $12.50 $30 call spread, and I shorted the 750 put. And I did it back in that day, which was November the 7th, but I did it for 3 months, okay? And this structure, and I did it for $1, okay? Just guys, I'll write it down. $1. This entire structure cost me $1. But because I sold the put when it was the stock was trading at around 8.30 when I did it, and I sold the 7.50 put. So I was prepared to take possession of this stock because it was open at 7.50. Okay, cost me $1. So as time went by, the 3 months, well, down here looked good back there, and then back down again. Up, all this up and down movement resulted in the stock here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but on this red candle was February 20th. Okay, I'm going to put in an arrow so you guys can see it. This red arrow here, red candle, denotes red arrow, which points to the red candle, denotes the last day of the options. Okay, they expired February 20th. Okay, last Friday. And the closing price, if you can see from the top here, look at the C here, the closing price, I'll mention it to you guys, was 7.39. Because my put was at 7.50, I got assigned the shares, and I wanted to get assigned the shares. Okay, so I am now long the shares of this entire of UAMY. This entire option structure cost me $1. So because I got long at 7.50, the stock, all it has to do is go back to 8.50, and if I sold, and I would get rid of it at 8.50, and I would break even. Like this, I would have lost no money on this trade. Okay, but I like the stock, so I'm holding it. Okay, and I'm going to get out piecemeal when it gets to a certain levels. As it keeps going higher, I'm going to get out of my position, 20% here, 20% there. I will keep you guys up to date on my X. If you follow me there, you can see it on a daily basis. So it goes to show you that sometimes you get assigned on this put exactly what you want, which is exactly what I wanted, and it ends up being a better trade than the entire option structure that you entered in. Okay, so, and it only happens if you're in the correct sectors. Okay, these sectors I think will boom. Because I think this is a long-term theme of President Trump's. Okay, so just a little overview. I'm long the shares and I'm holding them. And now the stock traded at $9.15. So I'm up from 7.50 to 9. Let's say I'm up $1.50 so far on the shares, and I plan to still hold them. Okay, so how I mitigate the trade going forward, I'll keep you guys up to date. But so far, I just wanted to show you that these trades take time. The worst case scenario was realized where I got assigned the puts and it ended up being okay. Okay, so you're putting the odds in your favor by buying this entire call spread for $1. The profit is from 12.50 to 30. So you had like a huge risk reward ratio, like what is it? 12.50, 7.50, 17.50, 17.5 to 1. Okay, you could 17x your money and it only cost you 1. But you had to take possession of the shares at 7.50 if it ever dropped. So it goes to show you that even in the worst case scenarios, things could go out your way if you have tailwinds in your back. Okay, so that's it for now. Let's recap. SPY looking good, bullish, although the technicals here are neutral until we get to new highs. The sentiment is still is neutral, so a lot more room to go higher. The NVIDIA earnings, beautiful. Market should rip after. They're trading at $199, $200 now after market from $195. So it's looking good. NVIDIA has a long consolidation period here, so plenty of fuel to go higher if it wants to with the market. We also looked at Bitcoin and the possibility of a pop. I hope it continues. This looks very, very good. We have plenty of room in the technicals to keep going higher, in the stochastics to keep going higher. So I like this space for a short-term pop to 85.90 level. And my UAMY trade, even though we realized the worst case scenario, let's say, it ended up being, it could, I mean, right now if I get rid of it, it'll be great, but I want to hold it. So you just have many, many options when you put the odds in your favor. You go long on the option structure. You don't do it for 1 day or 1 week, or you go for 3 months. Okay, a lot of time for your thesis to play out. Okay, and now I have the shares and I'm waiting to exit them at more profitable levels. So that's it, guys. Let's see what happens tomorrow and the rest of the week. Remember, it's the end of the month. We should get some window dressing coming up. The last 3 days are usually window dressing. So window dressing meaning that people start buying, funds start buying at the end of the month to pad their books. It's not supposed to happen, but whatever. So that's it, and looking forward to the end of the week and month. Bye, guys.